The Lucid is a luxury lounge that's designed to be an electric vehicle. It is also a fabulously engineered EV that exalts luxury. In its short life, it's also displayed heights in electric vehicle achievements, probably the longest advertised range and some industry beating set of performances. We've briefly covered this car on this channel before, and as it prepares to bring its next creation, the Gravity, it was important that I do a deep dive and an update of sorts into its incumbent option that's been in the market, the Lucid Air. The Lucid Air has been on offer in 4 trims. You can view the specs in our earlier video here or via its link in the description. To summarize, the 4 trims are the Pure, the Touring, the Grand Touring and the Lucid Air Sapphire. It's 195.9 inches long, 86.4 inches wide and 55.4 inches tall, with a wheelbase that's 116.5 inches and a ground clearance of 4.5 to about 5 inches. Weight that's 4,883 pounds to 5,200 pounds. Both of the last two variables depending on the trim. Its selling point is its absolute premium feel that places it alongside the Mercedes, the Porsche and the likes. Its major downside, at least in the US market, is the uphill struggle for its 900 volt drive system with the commonly prevalent 400 volt DC charging infrastructure, probably the key factor holding it back. Having said that, I am personally amazed with the likes of Lucid and Rivian for what they have achieved in their shortest of lifetimes. It's particularly impressive in comparison to the legacy competition. In the front, the Lucid Air has a huge clamshell hood that covers the large 9.9 cubic feet front trunk. That hood covers the front bumper with the LED headlights under a silver trim in between. The Lucid has vents on the hood. That trim brings the aero advantage, sliding the air over it. It has air vents down on the front bumper and the customary ones right at the bottom of the bumper as well. A designer chrome piece lines the front bumper right underneath. It's always a concern when cars are designed where so many parts appear tightly fitted. There's always a chance of build quality issues emerging over time, and this is a very premium car that will see these issues held against it if they occur. On the sides, its aero profile displays a very interesting design. The doors seem to curve in downwards, and that's not only pretty looking but surely instrumental in pushing the air out easier. Pop-out handles to the door make good usability, but they surely need to be checked for proper alignment. At the bottom is some aluminium accent with some plastic. The side mirrors keep up the aero profile and also hold 2 safety cameras, staring at the side lanes, I would think. Another camera sits on the B pillars, further adding to the safety profile. The Air also has a front camera mounted at the top of the windshield and a rear camera above the license plate. A driver monitoring camera near the dash. The exterior cameras combine to provide the 360-degree surround view. The window has a plastic strip alongside, the fit of which looks delicate, and over time could be tested as it will take in plenty of things from the environment. The aero profile continues on the rear quarter panel. Above it is the trunk that clearly sticks out, which gives the car stability on the road at its high speeds. The looks are good on the trunk top, but these slants could all be molded plastic. At the bottom of the quarter panel is the rear bumper with the parking sensors. A light bar with the tail lights runs all along the rear bumper. The roof has a long glass that appears split in 2 parts. This is again intricate fitting and will need to be examined for build issues over time. This is the optionable glass roof with a small panel acting as a connect to the rear glass window. Under the trunk hood is some pretty large cargo space, up to 16.1 cubic feet with understorage. But as the height of the car is small, for its long body the cargo sits low. It will be interesting to check the number of standard 26-inch bags this trunk will hold. The Lucid has its charge port on the front fender on the driver's side. This would be useful for a car expected to tow, except that it's not what I expect of a Lucid. My recommendation is always the driver side rear or passenger front side in the US. It opens in a unique manner downwards and keeps the DC pins exposed when charging AC. That's sensitive when the car is charging in the rains or in inclement weather. The Lucid has 2 USB-C ports, one each of USB-A and 12 volt ports in each the front and the rear. The Touring has Alcantara material on the door panels. The doors have soft touch leather on top and aluminium beneath on the lower trims. The door handles inside have a wooden trim with the opening button surrounded by aluminium. That's accompanied by some textile and leather material. The carpet on the floor has leather added to it. The seats are full grain leather that display premium stitching. Unique perforation patterns here may bring users choice to pick from. They have a fixed headrest and adjustable seat belts. The low height of the car is felt again here with the head feeling the roof sides, even with the astonishing sights that the glass brings. Its sun visors are very much like those in the Tesla Model X but not as smoothly functional. They don't sit on the sides like the Model X and hold a battery inside that reduces the wiring. In fact, the look outside is like the Model X but at a lower height. The windows will appear small from the inside. The A-pillars extending back show the Alcantara material. It's best to check these and all the trim specific options when configuring your preferred choice. The dash has soft touch material with vents running underneath. Beneath the vents are old style buttons and a scroll wheel volume control. The vents have wood accents and aluminium that make it look very good. The wood could be either silvered eucalyptus that has driftwood like markings, North American linear crane, an open pore finish, or carbon oak, a red oak with natural variations visible through its dark stain. All wood options that are sustainable and clearly show the California design inspiration, and are all based on options the users will make. In fact, it has a California city name for each of its leather options. The glove box has textile material over it. This could be wool blend textile of sustainable alpaca and recycled yarn textiles. All 100% recycled yarn transformed by an advanced air texturing process. The center display quite famously slips in and out. Not sure Lucid will repeat this in the forthcoming vehicles, as it surely complicates the manufacturing as good as it looks. The retracted center display has storage underneath, followed by the cup holders in the console that are all soft plastic, followed by some storage and the armrest over it. The steering has two clear layers of spokes running across with a small button on either side on the top, with the bottom layer holding three buttons on either side, probably the ADAS, the infotainment, etc. Behind the steering wheel are some traditional stalks with the turn signals on the left and the drive shifter on the right. The instrument cluster in the Lucid is really three screens alongside each other. The screen on the extreme left displays lighting and window controls, mirror adjustments, driver assistance functions, and some other vehicle settings. The screen directly in front of the driver displays speed, range, and battery status, besides some other indicators like high beams, turn signals, and other alerts. The screen on the right, that's at the center of the dash, displays media, navigation, and other infotainment functions like climate control and some other settings, and Apple CarPlay, but need to check its latest status. The rear seats have a slight recline. In certain trims, the rear seats could have a slightly different color than the front ones. Depending on the configuration, the rear screen in the Lucid Air will offer climate and media control, navigation and seat adjustments, and probably other configured infotainment like streaming, etc. As said, this is all 100% premium stuff. Among all the EV startups here in the US trying to make it, and some sadly falling apart, Lucid is probably the one that's best backed up. Along with Rivian, it's also the EV maker with the best chance to survive and thrive. Even with that, I have been surprised with the way they have been ramping up towards the Gravity with the Lucid Air that's not quite made adequate numbers as on date. And it's surely the hefty financial backing that's driving the strategy right now. So if you're a user with your own charging sorted and are not reliant on the prevalent DC charging infrastructure in the US outside of Tesla, then you sure can give the Lucid a shot. That's my little bit on the Lucid Air 2025. I'm looking for some road trips in the rest of the summer, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one soon.